Let's see if I actually remember how to do this or not. Oh, yeah, I don't, because I have a very dusty lens. What's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Scott here, and today we're going on a little bit of a photo adventure with an old camera. But what I actually want to talk about is DSLRs in 2021, and we'll get into why once I get to my destination. Way too windy in Steveston to finish this video, so I'm headed back to the studio. Alright, so I'm back in the studio after a very windy day out in Richmond. So I have some thoughts on what I was able to capture today on the gear that I have, the DSLR that I have, versus some of the stuff that was announced recently, specifically the K3 Mark III. The thing with DSLRs is the K3 Mark III, specs-wise, it looks incredible, and I love Pentax ergonomics. My review of the KP notwithstanding, man, I had some hilarious responses to that. I'm just going to highlight a couple of them here for you guys. The thing is, I actually liked the KP, but the KP couldn't do anything better than any other camera that I'd ever owned, and it did some things worse. So to me, that sort of rules it out right off the bat. And you can say that you don't need video functionality in a camera, and that's great. If you don't need video functionality in a camera, then you know, maybe the K3 Mark III is the camera for you. It does shoot 4K, it does shoot a bunch of different frame rates, but from the samples I've seen, you can look at Kai Wong's video. He shot a little tiny bit of video with it. It doesn't look great. So DSLRs in general, I mean, I get it. They're a little more rugged, seemingly. They have better ergonomics grip-wise for the most part. Like this is what I was shooting with today. This is a Sony A390 with a Minolta AF75 to 300. It's a 4.5 to 5.6. It's an AF mount, so it fits on Sony DSLR cameras. They have the same mount. This is a great camera. This has got a CCD sensor. It's like 12 or something megapixels. I'll put it down below here, so plenty of resolution for an older camera. It's about an 11-year-old camera now. But if you shoot this thing at 100 ISO, because of that CCD sensor, it's absolutely magic. The autofocus is pretty quick, surprisingly quick actually, and I do love the optical viewfinder. Is the optical viewfinder better than an EVF? Being able to see through the lens optically is good, but you're not really getting a real representation of what your photo is going to look like. And that's why I always struggle with optical viewfinder purists. And if you like them, that's great. And if they work for you, I think that's awesome. I just don't personally understand how they're better than the latest generation of EVFs. EVFs, the refresh rates are incredible. You can shoot blackout free with them now, and you're seeing the exact exposure that you're going to get when you take a photo. And to me, that is important. Now, modern digital cameras, even with an OVF, they pretty much are going to give you the correct exposure regardless of whether it's an EVF or an OVF. But for me, I like to see that through an EVF. Now, you can use live view on something with an optical viewfinder if you really want that, but then you're taking pictures out like this, and nobody wants to see that, you know? But yeah, the release of the K3 Mark III has sort of, I think, helped people re-find my KP video because the negative comments started coming in again. And Pentax fans, I will give you credit. You are some of the most passionate fans I have come across in all of camera fandom. I think that, you know, Fuji fanboys and Sony fanboys and Canon fanboys and Nikon fanboys, they pale in comparison to Pentax fanboys. There may be less of you, I should say fan people, fan girls, fan boys, fan everybody. There may be less of you, but you are the most passionate when it comes to defending the brand that you shoot with. And for that, I salute you. I think that that passion is warranted. I think that Pentax still makes a great camera. I think that the K3 Mark III, if you love DSLRs, it's pretty much the best thing you can get right now with an APS-C sensor. It really is. And if you are primarily shooting photos, there is not much else out there that's going to do anything better than that camera. So go get one. But for me, the main sticking point for me is that disconnect between the fact that it does most things just as good as any comparable mirrorless camera, but it can't seem to compete on the video side. If you don't need video, great. But in this day and age, for the money that they want for the K3 Mark III, it should be able to shoot video that's comparable to Canon and Nikon and Sony and Fuji. It just should. And I don't really think that there's an argument to be made why it shouldn't. You know, they're charging big money for that camera. So it should be giving big results in every aspect of its functionality. It is great to be sitting here talking to you guys or to this camera, but I just consider that there's people on the other side of it. And the bottom line is whatever tool helps you create the art that you want to create, whether it's a DSLR or a mirrorless camera or a film camera or a paintbrush or a pen, or if you like to cook, or if you play darts, or if you collect shoes, you know what? Whatever makes you happy, I say go for it. As long as you can afford it and you're getting what you want out of it, no harm in liking what you like. So on that note, I will see you guys in a future video, hopefully soon, but who knows? Bye.